Part 2. The School. Isabel, a fourth grader, is telling us how the children have learned to use and care for a new kind of toilet, called a dry toilet or composting toilet. It doesn't work the same as a water-based toilet that Americans are used to. Signs on the wall demonstrate how to properly care for and use it, and the kids are very proud of this. The first thing we notice about this toilet is that there is no water tank on the back. Secondly, there is a bucket of dry leaves next to it. For going popo, the lid is lifted. Excrement drops into a concrete vault beneath the floor, much the same as in a standard outhouse. The difference here is that urine is diverted via a built-in baffle or separator, keeping the feces dry. This actually keeps the feces from producing odors and aids the decomposition. After each use, the paper and a handful of dry leaves are dropped in, covering the feces. Instead of leaves, a mixture of dry earth and lime or ashes could be used. Keeping the fecal matter dry is the key to making this work without offensive odors. For the men and boys, there is a urinal. The urine is collected in a separate container, the same as for the girls. It is diluted with 5 to 10 parts water and then used as fertilizer. It has a very high nutrient value: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. In this manner, an ecological cycle is created. Human waste becomes a resource used to grow food, which in turn is consumed by humans. The typical bathroom has 2 toilets. The one on the left is used for approximately 6 months, while the one on the right is used for decoration. When the vault beneath the first toilet becomes full, usage is switched to the one on the right. During the second 6-month period, when the second toilet is being used, the excrement in the first vault continues decomposing and becomes compost. All the dangerous pathogens are killed during this stage. Thus, after 12 months, the compost is ready to be put into the garden. Again, instead of a waste product, they have a resource: organic fertilizer for the soil. Every 6 months, the process is repeated. Each time there is a maturation or decomposition period. The alternating use guarantees sufficient time for the fecal matter to break down into compost, creating another ecological cycle: human waste, resource, food, human consumption. It's very important to understand the maintenance required when using a dry toilet prior to installing one. Without a commitment, it will not function properly. With proper use, however, dry toilets can be used not just in outhouse buildings. We have used them in our home inside of a standard indoor bathroom. Part 3. Sewage systems. Nature is a great integrator of systems. Natural elements are continually recycled without waste or exhaustion of resources. Contrary to the principle of sustainability, sanitary systems used in our cities and towns are flush and discharge, that is, unidirectional. Water-based toilets, besides using enormous quantities of running water, require huge investments for drain pipes, sewer lines, treatment plants, and disposal of treated sewage. As a result, in some communities in Mexico, and even in the United States, black water is discharged without sufficient treatment, some of which ends up in rivers, lakes, and coastal waters. As children, we used to swim in this pond, enjoying the lazy days without a care. Nowadays, it's contaminated with sewage and smells putrid. Sanitation problems need to be resolved in a systematic manner. Contamination of water is an ecological, health, and social issue that needs our immediate attention. According to the statistics found in studies of sanitation in the municipal region of San Miguel de Allende, 27.5% of households have no toilets. 13.4% have no public water. The dry toilet is a closed circle system, since it turns human waste into a resource. This type of sanitation treatment has three main highlights. It converts human excrement into a resource. 2. Prevents illness and death and contamination of our water supply. 3. It uses the composted resource as a benefit for growing food. What next? Phase 1 was the primary school. Phase 2, expand the project by building bathrooms for 30 households in the village of Rancho Nuevo. This is currently in progress with great success. The next phase, or phase 3, is to expand it to provide bathrooms to approximately 15 communities in the region with the same conditions and needs. We need your help in funding this stage. Here are 3 examples of donations you can make. A single dry toilet costs $100 US. You could support our education and training workshops with an annual donation of $100 a year. Your donation of $3,000 will provide a family with a complete bathroom, the building, toilets, sink, water tank, rain collection system, and the cost of construction and all materials. If you would like to help with this project, speak with the program presenter or contact GAIA directly. We thank you. To contact GAIA, use one of these telephone numbers or email addresses.